I'm here with Florida five-star quarterback commit DJ Lagway and the head coach of the Willis Wildcats, Trent Miller. Hey guys, thanks for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having us.
Okay, so DJ, your season just started. What goals do you have for yourself this season?
I really just honestly, I have a I just want to win. That's my biggest thing. Like, I want to win state. I want to go deep in the playoffs. That's my goal for myself. And also for the guys. So that's my biggest thing. All the self accolades gonna come after we win and stuff like that. So that's my biggest goal.
All right, so coach, what goals do you have for DJ?
For him as a player, I think he's kind of exceeded every goal that everybody in the country has for him as a player. What I love seeing young men do is continue to grow as human beings. And with a kid like DJ, that's hard to say because he's a phenomenal young man and got an incredible work ethic and does everything, first class. But a goal for me, for him, would be just to kind of master the art of everything that goes on outside of football with all the attention that he's getting, all the interviews that he's doing, um, being able to engage and interact with people on a more intimate level when he sees them in public for the first time and people want autographs. Just learning how to deal with all that stuff at I guess on a bigger stage is something that I'd love to see him do. Not that he's done it bad, but just to continue to work on that process.
Okay, so that kind of leads into my next question. DJ, how hard is it to juggle your high school career with what's ahead in college? Because, your recruitment is still going on. You're also helping recruit others, but obviously you've got your studies. You're in the middle of your high school season right now. How do you juggle all of that?
I just really take things one step at a time. Right now I'm in high school, so I'm really just focusing on high school ball. I've been not really on social media as much, trying to do recruiting things. I'm just really focused on being a Willis Wildcat, to go as far as I can in playoffs.
Wow. So what things are you doing? Obviously, you're focused on your high school season, but what things are you doing now that probably benefit your high school season as well, but that are preparing you for when you get to UF?
Just learning how to have work ethic off the field, like knowing when to watch film and just having a routine of watching film and just different things like that, doing a lot of stretching, just making sure that I stay healthy during the season just to do those different things. But just having that routine, just building a routine now so it won't be a shell shock of time management when I get to college.
Okay, so this summer, your rankings dropped a little bit. What do you contribute that to? And is it extra motivation for this upcoming season?
No, I really don't. That don't phase me at all. I don't even worry. I don't know where they get that stuff from, anyways. But I just, like I said, just trying to get better with the guys and just focus on this high school season. That's my biggest thing.
Coach, I know you know DJ better than pretty much anybody else, and I'm sure you saw that too. And I know you guys don't really care what the rankings are, but you've seen some of the top quarterbacks in the entire country. How do you think DJ stacks up, and where did they maybe get that wrong?
Without getting too heated, I would say that if he was going to LSU, Alabama, USC, or Clemson, I don't think he would have dropped in the rankings. That's just me personally. I think there's a lot of people out there that don't really know that they don't know. And for him to drop in an area in which he was rated so highly in before he announced his commitment to Florida is baffling to me because I've seen him do nothing but progress in every aspect of being a quarterback and a human being in the last 8 months I've been with him throughout this offseason. And so, but to DJ's point, like everybody else, people get paid to stir up controversy and drama, and they get paid to stir up a fan base, and so that's great. If anything, it's more fuel for all of us to prove everybody wrong. And like you said, we're just going to keep doing what we do and let all the other stuff take care of itself. It's always nice on the back end to sit back and go, see, hey, told you so. So you can write what you want to write, say what you want to say. It's all good because we have naysayers, as coaches as well, and so. If people aren't hating on you, you're at the top of the food chain. So we're okay with that.
Steve Spurrier said something similar to that many, many years ago. Okay, so DJ, I saw an interview with Luke Crowman. What was it like rooming with him at the Elite 11?
He's a real good dude. I built an amazing relationship with him. It's his first time meeting him. He's a heck of a player. It's going to be fun battling against him for the next 3 or 4 years when we get the games for him.
So was it cool to already kind of have a little bit of a, relationship there? So then a little bit of a built-in rivalry for Florida State for you before you even get to college.
Oh yes, ma'am, most definitely. Just having that relationship. Talking a little mess to him after we beat him a couple times. So it's just, just building that relationship.
So one thing that he said in the interview that I watched that really stuck out probably the most to me is that he said that when you were in your room every single night, you read the Bible. Can you talk a little bit about your faith and kind of the role that that plays in your life?
Like without God, I wouldn't be here today. I'm like, I know a lot of people say that, but I truly mean it. Like that's like God's number one in my life, and like I thank Him every day for where I'm at today. And I'm just truly grateful and blessed.
All right. So you are probably US top recruiter right now. Okay. There are kids all the time when they commit, they talk about the relationship that they have with you or that you really kind of helped guide them here. Is recruiting other guys to come play with you at UF more work or more fun?
It's fun because like you meet future NFL stars. Like it's just meeting different people. So it's just like I'm the type of guy I can like fit in with anybody. I can go fit in with the O linemen, go fit in with the receivers, go fit in with the DBs. Just have that like different conversation or just know like the guys I'm around is just be able to connect with them. So I feel like I have a real like connectable relationship with people.
Okay, so pretend like I'm a really highly rated recruit. What's your pitch?
My pitch is different. It's different from different people. Like, you really gotta like. I just really try. If I was like trying to recruit you, I just like talk to you. Try to like build a relationship. Like, not even talking about Florida. Just try to because people come to me about everything, tell them where they should go, what they should do. Because I've been through that situation. So I'm really just trying to build a relationship with that guy, and then overall you get a kind of feel of what that person likes to do and like what they like to do and stuff like that. And that's you go from there. So.
All right, coach, obviously DJ is a great leader, but what type of leader is he and how do you think that's going to translate in college?
He's transformed a lot in the short time I've had the pleasure of working with him. This time last year, he was very quiet, very reserved, and kind of just led by example. Um, would be the first guy in the locker room, one of the last guys to leave, but never really spoke up. Just assumed that the 16 to 17-year-old teammates he had around him were going to just kind of fall in and do what he does. And so he has changed so much as a leader in that aspect, this entire offseason, and the fact that, if he sees something wrong, he's going to speak up, and he's going to fix that amongst his teammates. And the great thing about it is when you're dealing with high school kids, when you have a conversation and you say, "Hey, I need you to step up and be a leader," they take it as, well, they need to lead the teammates like a coach leads a group of young men, where you yell at them, you run them, you do all those little bitty things that coaches do, and without much coaching on, what that looks like for him, he kind of just picked it up naturally. Like he talks about recruiting guys, going to Florida. He'll get in the locker room and talk to guys about, hey, let's go have dinner, let's go do this. And then when he gets around those guys in those intimate settings, then we talk about, the real things about, what's going on and what we need to do to fix this, and how can I improve what I'm doing to fix that. And so to watch him transform from that type of leader to where he is now it's been truly amazing. And there's not many out there like him. I haven't coached any young men, as the high caliber of player as he is, that have been able to, juggle both, you know, social life and business life when it's time to get out there and get on the field. And so it's been a pleasure to be around.
So, you talk about the transformation of the type of leader that he is. What kind of transformation did you see amongst your team once he kind of changed and developed as a leader?
I think this offseason we spent, the majority of our focus on, creating a more dynamic, positive, and, you know, just a culture, altogether. And so, when I sat down with DJ when offseason started back then, that was the biggest thing is we have so many different young men in this small town being pulled in so many different directions from, what they go home to or who they hang out with, in the public or, just, who they run with, within the locker room. And so, to kind of identify, the little bitty details that kept us from being what we could have been last year, that was the biggest thing to get, him to grasp on with a couple of other young men. And so we have built, with these young men, such a tight bond and such a, just infectious culture. The guys, they'll die for each other, out there on the football field. They're protecting each other in the hallways when people are talking trash about, their teammates. And, I think if you can build a culture where, people are willing to lay down their lives for each other, the football itself will take care of itself. And so that's what's been really cool to see.
DJ, we spoke to Coach Tillman, who obviously your quarterback's coach, and he told us that UF was the school you wanted to go to before you were even on their radar. So what drew you to UF?
I really just like the atmosphere. Like I always watch the games on like ESPN and stuff like that, and the colors are tough. I'm gonna be real, like the colors tough. So I was like, I gotta go see what it's about. And they started recruiting me, and I when I first went up there, like, yeah, this may be a school for me.
What is your relationship with Coach Napier like?
I have a really good relationship with Coach Napier. He's a real down to earth guy. I feel like we can pretty much talk to him about everything, anything. So I'm excited to go down there.
So tell me a little bit about your official visit at UF. What, stands out, or what do you think UF does better than anywhere else on official visits?
Well, I ain't never. That was on my first and only official visit, so I don't really know. But I can tell you what they do differently than any other school. Like on a regular visit, I just feel like the family aspect and culture is there. Like I feel like you can get anything and everything you want there at the University of Florida, from the sports aspect, the academics aspect, and just the religion, sport, like family based atmosphere. So I feel like you can get everything there, and I feel like that's why a lot of kids are choosing Florida.
Hey, Coach, you have colleges that come on your campus all the time to recruit DJ and others, and obviously you've had other kids recruited previous to DJ. What stands out about when UF comes to campus? Is there anything that they do differently when communicating with you than maybe the average school?
I would say, you know, this time last year before the commitment was set and all that, and like even last spring football, when we were going through it in March and April and May, everybody in the country, came through here. And I'm talking offensive coordinators, quarterback coaches. Um, you know, Generally when, recruiting season happens, football staffs break up how they do their recruiting based off of, geographical regions. And so, at some campuses that, if you don't have a five-star quarterback, you usually get whatever position coach on that staff is responsible for that area, right? So we might get the D-line coach come in, we might get the receiver coach come in, we might get the DB coach come in. When the schools were recruiting DJ, we were getting the offensive coordinators flying in on private jets. They fly in, come see a practice, get back on a jet and go home. So that was, for me, that was significantly different from the normal recruiting process. But um, outside of the guys showing up here on campus at Florida, I mean, there was a stretch there for a couple of months where it almost felt like they were recruiting me, to come to Florida. I mean, I talked to every coach on the staff, the recruiting department, GAs, talked to Coach Napier on the phone. I mean, the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, the O-line coach, the assistant O-line coach. Everybody wanted to get a true feel for who DJ was and, what they could do to, better, service his experience when he gets there, into town. And so all the big time Power Five schools came through, but from like DJ talked about, from that relationship and that culture aspect, I mean, they put in the time and effort, and every one of those dudes, they call me, at 7 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock at night, whenever they had a free moment, they're always checking in. They're always trying to, just say, hey, what's up, how's it going, and for me, like if DJ was my kid, which I feel like he is, and you have those conversations from a recruiting standpoint. Um, you want to send your baby to where you're most comfortable they're going to be taken care of. And when you have a collective group of men, I mean, grown men, that the defensive line coach is going to have nothing to do with DJ from a coaching standpoint, but from a cultural standpoint, he's going to see DJ every day, and so for him to make it a point to reach out, just to check on us and how we're doing, how's DJ doing, like for me, I think that was the icing on the cake from my perspective. And I never gave DJ, an inkling, one way or the other, you should do this or you should do that. But we did talk about like, hey, I've talked to these guys. These guys are asking this. These guys are asking that, and I mean, I think their recruiting pitch was night and day, above anybody else that was, a part of the process.
All right, DJ, are you coming on campus this fall? If you are, what games are you coming to?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'll definitely be at some games. I'm not too sure yet. I'm not too sure what games I'll be at, but I'm definitely going to catch a few.
My recommendation is Tennessee, September 16th, 7 o'clock in the swamp. It will be insane. I know you interact with fans all the time, but if you had one message for Gator fans out there that you want to leave them with, what would it be?
I'd say that get ready. You know, it's gonna be. I'm gonna come out there 100%. You know, I'm gonna come out there working 100%, give it off my all. And yeah, that's really what I got to say.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This was awesome. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.